Morning. Monday morning, September 14th. There's the supervisor. He's confused. Buddy, I'm up here, by the way. I'm on top of the dryer. Kind of give you an overview of that cornfield. You can see the bean field on top of the hill is starting to turn hard. So is that one. I don't know if you look really hard, you can see one of my hunting blinds down there in the corner. But anyways, let me unzoom you. Okay, there's the wet bin. Obviously you can only see part of it because of the roof here over the dryer. For you non-farmers, because you farmers will know. Alright, we fill the wet bin with whatever we're combining, corn, beans. Comes out the bottom, up that auger, into the top of the dryer, and this dries the corn and the beans. Oh, excuse me, I brought the grease fitting or grease gun up so I can grease the top of the dryer. Looks like some coons have been up here, dried coon shit, but didn't get cleaned off the greatest last year up here because of how, well, it was December when we were cleaning it, but it's not horrible. I've seen guys that don't clean them off at all and they're quite disgusting. But so then after it goes into that hopper there and into the dryer, that right there is the grain leg. It goes out the back of the dryer, which I'll show you when I get down there because there's grease fittings there, and goes up that leg and goes into whatever bin I have it set to go into. So I'm up here, I'm gonna grease. I figure I better start on the top because, as most of you always know, it seems you run out of grease in the most inopportune times and places. So that way I figure I have no idea how much grease is left in that grease gun. So I'll start up here, hopefully getting it done, and then grease the stuff down below. So right now I need to go to the back of the dryer and grease the pulley that's back there and the pulley up there on the wet bin auger, and then work my way back this way and then down to the bottom. And there's the supervisor. I think he figured out where I was now. So I'll get back to you. Alright, I got the top greased. He forgot to tell me to check the battery though. Luckily I had just enough. So now I'm greasing down here at the bottom. I've got to get in one side or the other, or both. But I usually get in one side and crawl across to do the big fan that's in there. There's a bearing on each side. Oh, where can I set that? Windy as hell today too, which is a good thing, because that'll help start drying the crops down naturally. That much less propane. Yeah, let's see you get back up by yourself. Oh, my back is killing me this morning, but tomorrow is a chiropractor appointment, so. Alright, so. Oh, how'd you like that close up of that? I may get in both sides. I may take both sides off because this has still got some crud in it. Like I said, from last year. It's all dried now, so I can get it out of there. The channel going through there, where basically from that ceiling down is where your grain is cool, or cooler, coming out of the dryer. So it's above that. So from about this level here down is where your cool grain comes out, and from that level up is where your heat is going through it. And you'll be able to see that once we start harvesting. You'll see all the steam coming out of all those little holes. But anyways, there's a belt in there, which I don't know if you want to call it a belt or not. It's got a bunch of paddles on it. I'll show you more of that once we get going. And that feeds out through the back of the dryer into here, down into that chute, and then up the leg she goes, and goes to whichever bin I have it set to go to. So I think I'm going to take this other side off too, just so I can see how much scuzz is in there. I got to close these panels up, and we did get that pretty good and clean up in there. You can see, I don't know how well you can see, but you can see, I can see light through all the holes that the steam comes out. So we did get this pretty good and clean. I would say we got the dryer 90% clean of what we normally would. But if you go back to, well, my channel started last December when we put the first video out of the combine getting quagmired on the muck. I think it was December 4th we put it out. That happened over Thanksgiving at 2 days. So basically we were cleaning things up in December, and if you look at that video there, or the video after that when we were cleaning the combine up, yeah, there was snow on the ground. And we have to pull all the air hoses out here to blow this off. So pretty basically cleaning it up in 30-degree weather, 20-degree weather. Not exactly a good plan. So, but all right, let me see how rotten this looks in here. This side don't look so bad. I can sweep out with little bits here, but hey, check this out. Here's a "are you okay" moment. I think that's a slightly petrified burnt froggy. He just kind of like curled up and said, okay, cook me, I'm done. Now generally it obviously doesn't get super hot down here. This is not where the 220-degree heat is, but being closed in here like that, yeah, Mr. Froggy didn't jump, Froggy. Oh, he didn't jump so good. Oh well. So anyways, I gotta get in here on both sides, because up there's a grease fitting on each side of this huge shaft that goes through that fan. And while I'm here, check my belts. They seem pretty tight, or tight enough, let's put it that way. They don't look horrible as far as weather check, but as we all know, belts can go at any time. Everything turns smooth, so I just need to grease that and clean some of the crap out of this end. So I will go get a little scraper and a whisk broom and clean some of this out and grease this, and then finish greasing the rest of it. So the front of the dryer will be greased. I gotta close up these panels. I gotta come back here. There's a grease fitting up in here. Phew, cobweb in my face. Grease fitting on each side of the leg. I gotta do, we did take the trap door off on the leg right there and get that all cleaned out last year, because that's kind of important to get cleaned out. Grease fitting right there. I already did those ones up there when I was up there. And then I gotta close this side up. So there's not a ton of grease fittings on this dryer. Then I gotta go do the outlets for the grain bin outlets back there. I gotta do those ones. I gotta do the ones up here. Like I said, I think David's gonna come over sometime next weekend and help us get augers set up. The biggest one we need help with is the wet bin auger, because you gotta have somebody up top get it open and then get the top of the auger in just right up there so that it's, you know, dumping straight down in. And it usually takes two people we get it back as far as we can by hand, crank it up, and then or with a tractor, and then we push it in by hand. I gotta grease that grease fitting there at the bottom of the wet bin auger. I gotta get that closed up. Obviously, I haven't closed it up, or I leave it open because for this reason, when it rains, you can see shit that's, you know, a little bit that's worked itself out since last fall. And Buddy says, yummy water. But you got water in the shop, dummy. But anyways, let me go get the stuff and get this clean. Well, I got quite a bit of all the dried shit that was in here, and it's all nice and flaky. And the wind is blowing pretty good out of the north, so that's helping. That big old dried chunk out of there. I'm gonna sweep all this up on the cement underneath anyhow, but got this area pretty well cleaned out. Got it cleaned out up into there, and the screen. This is where you adjust these louvers for different distance for different outdoor airflow, because the dryer actually, a day like today, let's put it this way, would be a great day for drying because it's not really super hot. It's only in the, I don't know what it is, low 60s, and with that breeze it's cool enough to wear a sweatshirt. But with the outdoor air, it helps dry. So these are much better days than the cold days. Let's put it this way, you could dry 25% corn on a 65-degree day and probably use the same amount of propane as you would drying 20 or 21% corn on a 30-degree day, because it takes more for it to build up the heat in the colder days. So that'll be the nice thing about getting going early. And actually, after the next 2 or 3 days, which are supposed to be kind of coolish, they're talking back up into the 70s, and I looked into next week, and hell, they were showing some mid to upper 70s. So this side had the most shit in it. I don't know why this side of the dryer gets the dirtiest. Maybe because it's not as open as much with the other building over there. I don't know. But this side wasn't bad, as you can tell by the floor or the ground down here on the cement. And I got this pretty well cleaned up in here. Got both grease fittings greased. So all I got left is the grease fittings on the back side. I got to put these shields back on, which I need 2 hands for. And the dryer will be ready to go, because as you will have seen in my last video, we got everything ready in the computer room. Got the computer out, cleared of last year's totals and all that good stuff. So after this, it's grease the ends of the augers on the bins and go inside and grease the sweep arms. That's the part that sucks, but at least it's cool. Really sucks when it's hot out. Alright, I'm in the front 30-foot bin. As you can see, I've swept this side of the floor. Still need to sweep up that side. Got some crap on it, probably echoing like hell. There's the crap from this side. And wearing prescription glasses, I always forget, and I got my sunglasses on. Forget to change them. I took that cover off, greased the end of that outlet auger. I still got to grease in there. I got to do this in every bin. Got to take that cover off and grease the grease fittings in there. And there's a couple on the sweep arm. But something I wanted to show you. Another reason to get in and check everything. Where was it? Right here. Some of the screws have come up on this flashing on the outside. So I brought a long screwdriver. Get the corn out the best I can. And I brought the screw gun. Try and screw them back down. they're either gonna work or they're not. I guess we will find out. Yep, that one did. And that one did. And that one stripped. But it did go down in some. It's just stripped. This one looks like it needs doing also. That one tightened. I think there's some corn built up in there, unfortunately, but anyways, that keeps the sweep arm from catching when it goes through here. So they're down pretty good now. But another reason to get inside the bin and check it out. That was the only spot that I saw. So I just gotta finish sweeping up the rest of this crud. Like I said, you get some that sticks to the sides during the winter and it works its way down. I mean, this isn't horrible, but in order to keep all your little slits that the air comes through clear, I am going to clean it out. So there's no sense in taking you in every bin because it's just going to be repeat of what I'm doing. Sweeping up the piles that are in here. There's one little pile. There'll be another one on the other side when I'm done. Back the gator up. I'll throw it in the gator. Then I will take those panels off, which that's the same exact panel in all three bins, and grease those, and we will have the bins ready. So I'll probably call it on this one, getting the dryer and the bins ready. Like I said, there's no sense in you following me into the other bins too. So give us a thumbs up. You can always use a thumbs up, and do all the things at the end of the video that Barb put up. So, and we will see you in the next one. Alright, I know I said I was done, but I want people to comment below if they have an answer to this question. You saw I had to put them couple of sheet metal screws in because they were the sheet metal there on those aprons on the outside were forced up and there was corn under them. The other two bins I didn't have to do that in, but I did find some corners that were bent up. Now, here's my question. Got a couple pieces of paper. The sweep arm runs clockwise around. So here's the flashing, let's say. They got this piece under this piece. Okay, and the wind's got to blow. But yet the sweep arm's running this way to force grain under it, and also, if it catches it, to rip it up. Why wouldn't they have put it, and come on, this way, seeing as it runs clockwise this way, and had it so it runs over it and there's no way it can force that up or take any of them sheet screws out? I don't know the answer to that. Is it because the company that's built my bins over the years, because they're not all the same? I mean, the one was 15 years ago or so. Other one's 9-10 years ago, I can't remember. Other one was across the road for 20 years before we moved it over here. But has they been in wrong all along or what? It just, like I said, I don't build bins, but it makes sense to me to put going in the clockwise direction to have it overlap instead of underlap. So if you know the answer, let me know.